This is PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every bet until you know in each verse. Travis tested waters, help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every bet until you know in each verse. Travis tested waters, help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you eat.
Hey guys, it's me, Travis of PlayerProps.ai, and this is what we're looking for. Week 11 Sunday Night Football. We have the Philly Eagles, who are winning, but horribly. They have a very ugly offensive production, and they're still winning games, and now they're versing a team that puts up points in the Detroit Lions. So I am curious if this is going to be high-scoring or low-scoring, because I haven't looked at anything in the app before I hit the record button. So now, let's figure it out together, what this game is going to look like. Let's see, I think what I want to do first is I just want to make the minimum line, just 35 for now. So we see two different players, or two players on each team, so we get to see both defensive rankings. So Philly ranks 21st in total pass yards allowed over the course of the season, 16th in the last three, so they're kind of middle, if you will. Detroit also, again, not too crazy, 19th overall, but they've had a decently stout pass defense in the last three games. They are 26th most pass yards allowed, which is the same thing as saying the 6th least pass yards allowed, because there's 32 teams in the NFL. So we're not going to get any kind of sexy green here that we look for. That makes things a lot easier to digest on passing yards and receiving yards. Let's see. Yeah, there isn't really any underplays. Looks like Devontae Smith has 10-yard difference. So he's got probably the biggest true difference of anyone. AJ Brown has publicly came out in the last what do you say? He's a Madden streamer. Or I mean, I think a lot of athletes are streamers on Twitch, but he plays Madden, of course. And he on his Madden stream in the last couple days, I think he's like, "Hey, if you have me on fantasy, just drop me." Like, he's frustrated. He's not getting the ball. He's frustrated the offense isn't doing anything. Probably also frustrated that Devontae Smith is getting a lot more looks, but we see here the sports books like the under more than the over. Also, the stout pass defense here against the Detroit Lions. I'm not in love with receiving yards, so let's look at another stat. We're going to go to rushing yards now. Nothing too sexy here, so we see both teams. So we see that the Eagles have been right around the middle over the course of the season, allowing the 14th most total rushing yards. They have locked in on defense in the last three games on rushing defense. They've only allowed the 26th most, which is the same thing as saying the 6th least. And the Detroit has been pretty stout on defense the entire season. 25th most, 23rd in the last three. It looks like we just pretty much get the two main running backs here so far. There's only like a 6-yard difference here and like a 4.3-ish yard difference here. This one's kind of interesting, I guess. So you would think that a 69.5 line is something that Saquon has hit a lot this season. But no. Because when we look back to the entire season, which started here on 9-4, he's only hit this twice. I mean, I'm assuming anybody can run on the New York Giants, so I don't think that's anything crazy. He's being used a lot more in the passing game. Let me look at his rushing attempts. So he's getting the ball. 18-ish on average, it seems like. He's had small ones here, but I mean, he's getting the ball. Sportsbook thinks he's going to get more than a 16.5 line, projection at 16. That's crazy here. You very rarely see a bar that's below the graph. -2 receiving yards against the Vikings. With college quarterbacks, so if you didn't know this, for college football, when the quarterback gets sacked, it counts against their rushing yards. In NFL, when a quarterback gets sacked, it doesn't count against their yards at all. It just counts against the team passing yards, but it doesn't affect their passing yards or their rushing yards. But in college football, it affects their rushing yards. So if it's a non-rushing quarterback and they are getting like destroyed by the opponent defense, let's say like a guy doesn't rush at all, he never leaves the pocket really, he's not a scrambler, and he gets sacked like 10 times by the defense, you'll see a bar that'll be like all the way down here, like -50 rushing yards, because that's just how it works. The sacks count against rushing yards. Just an interesting little tidbit there. Has nothing to do with Sunday Night Football. Just thought you guys should know that. So when you're betting on quarterback rushing yards for college, just keep that in mind. So this is interesting here. This is also interesting here. So we know we had that crazy 65-yard scamper, which is why he rushed for like 150 yards total. But like his longest rush, he has not had a game this season, besides the Giants, where he had a rush longer than 18. And you'd be like, oh, Saquon Barkley, like he can break one off at any point. A lot of his stuff, like I don't think, do we have a longest reception? Yeah. So, 41-yard catch, 47-yard catch. I feel like it's a lot more likely that he'll get a long reception than a longer rush. That's just what the data's telling us. But we're not betting on either of those stats. The only thing we're looking at right now is rushing yards. It's just interesting to see how they're using him. And their offense isn't putting up a ton of points, but they're still finding ways to win games, which I guess that's the most important part about football. But 5 straight games where his highest was 58, 60 last time. So if you guys watched the Monday show I put out, not for Monday Night Football, but the show I dropped on Monday for NHL, the title on this channel was How Discord Members Are Printing Cash This NHL Season. I was talking about the cheat sheets that Joey has in the data channels. So if you are a premium member, you have access to a channel. You have access to a ton of channels. But one of them is NFL data, NBA data, and NHL data. So we take what we've built. I built this award-winning app for you guys. Then we had this YouTube show that I do for you guys. So I build this app that crushes it. But then I have this video that teaches you how to use the app to crush it. And then Joey, the third level, he creates cheat sheets to show you how specifically the app is crushing it. So essentially what we do is we look at, like what we did on Monday's NHL show, we see what the AI is saying on the app. So you use the app first, and then you find, let's say you find like 5 plays that to see where the AI is leaning, or on the over, under, or whatever stat. And then you use the cheat sheets in Discord to see, are any of these players hitting at like a crazy high rate on their over and under when the AI predicts that. And so on Monday, we're like, oh, like I think this was the first NHL show this season that we did. And it's just copy and paste. You just, Brad Marchand over points. In the Discord channel, NHL data, Joey says anything over 0.52 point projection is in the sweet spot. Okay, this checks the mark for Brad for this NHL play. And then we look at the cheat sheet. We pull that up on screen on Monday. Definitely go back and watch that. You don't have to know anything about NHL, and you just have to look at the app, look at the cheat sheet, and there's more money won in the last like 7 days from NHL than from NBA. And that's not saying we're not crushing on NBA, but people are seeing how easy it is, because I think we started the cheat sheets with NHL, so people got accustomed to how to use them. And then we added them for NBA, and then now this week he added them for NFL. But that whole explanatory tidbit is just, if you are a premium member, you have even if you're not a premium member, you have 0 excuses for not being in the Discord. We have made it so easy that it's copy and paste. And if you're like, I'm not sure how to use this, that means you're not in the Discord. It's impossible for you to be in the Discord with your account synced. There's people that are joining the Discord and not syncing in their accounts, and then they're like, where are all the channels at? The one channel that you can see is called Unlock Free Access, and it says to go to your PlayerProps.ai profile page and look at a big blue button in the middle of that page. It says Connect Discord. That's what unlocks all the free access. It is impossible, which is why we have a guarantee to get into the Discord, to follow all of the guidelines, and to not lose less often. So if you're losing a lot of your singles, you're losing a lot of your parlays, there's a reason for that. We know how to fix it. We know how to make it where you're not losing as often. You just have to follow the guidelines. And it's a guarantee. If you follow all of our guidelines, you will lose less often. Guaranteed. But there's still people, it's like, I don't know if I want to get in Discord. I'm not a Discord kind of person. Do you like more money? Or do you like less money? If you like more money, you're a Discord kind of person. So, that last 5 minutes just means that I'm going to go to the NHL channel, NFL data, not NHL, NFL data channel. I'm curious to see for rushing yards, if there's anything Saquon Barkley on any of these. It doesn't look like it. I'm just glancing over it real quick. I don't think there's any other Philly players or Lions players. There might be, but that's not the stat we're looking at. I'm looking at one more cheat sheet he has in here just to make sure. Nope, okay, we're good. All right, so regardless of the cheat sheet, because this particular play is not on there. Saquon Barkley under rushing yards isn't on the cheat sheet, but I'm curious to see how high we can get this line before we make any kind of decisions. So let's see how high we can get that line. No, not Thursday Night Football. We're on Sunday Night Football. Detroit Lions. Rush yards. We can get it at 71.5, ladies and gentlemen. And ESPN Bet is paying you at minus 115. Like 70.5 even, Fanatics under. Yeah, okay, so we got Bet Rivers and ESPN Bet 71.5. And because we like to make the most amount of money when we get things right, that means we're going to be going on ESPN Bet, which in a few weeks. So again, I've been mentioning this on a few shows. ESPN Bet and the company that runs ESPN Bet, which is Penn Interactive, they run the software and the technology and everything. And ESPN Bet, ESPN just is the brand. They cancel their deal. So on December 1st, the ESPN Bet app becomes. The branding becomes The Score, which is a different brand that already exists that Penn Interactive owns. It's just they're just repurposing the ESPN Bet app because ESPN is no longer part of this ecosystem. And so we're going to update this logo as well for the Score once that stuff changes. But yeah. All right. So 71.5 is what we're looking at for the U. I don't think we have to look at anything else. I think correction. I did want to look at the money line. Or the team tools anyway. What? I literally just typed. Oh, my keyboard's not even on. How did that even happen? I have a mobile or a wireless keyboard. It wasn't even on. This is exactly what I want to see. Not only does the AI think this is going to be a close game, but they also give the Detroit Lions a hair, if you will, of being a favorite in this game. Let's look at the spread predictor. Yeah, so they said Detroit should cover the plus 2.5 because it gives Detroit a 51% chance of winning this game. The totals just is what it is. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. So it's going to be a close game. And if Detroit is up, in theory, if they do win this game, that means Philly's probably not running the ball. If this is what is actually happening. So 71.5 is what we're looking at. And yeah, that's what we're doing. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on a crazy win streak, profit streak. We have made y'all an insane amount of money the last 2 weeks. And even if you just started watching our stuff and started getting, you're like, oh, you just found about PlayerProps.ai. There are 2 years worth of videos on this YouTube channel where we hit more of our YouTube shows, more of our picks than any other YouTube show on the planet, because we know how to make better betting decisions. It's not that, yes, we have the most accurate NFL app in the world, which is an award that we won. If you didn't see that press release, you can find it on AP News, but there's a competition where they put the top 8 prediction apps, and they did like a March Madness contest and they used NFL player props found on the apps themselves and see which one won more than didn't. And so we moved all the way down the chain, we made it to the finals, and we beat everybody. So we actually are officially the most accurate NFL prediction app in the world. But it's not just the fact that the AI is crushing it more than anybody else in the world. It's the fact that we are also the smartest bettors in the world, where I'm teaching you why your 15 pick parlays are not a great decision, and all these other things as well. If you would ask anybody, you can go into Discord, anybody that's printing money, which how do you know this? Because you see them dropping winning screenshots in the winning screenshots channel every single day. If you were to ask them the number one, any of them, I guarantee you on this, ask any of them, what's the number one biggest advantage or thing that you've learned since joining the PlayerProps.ai community? I guarantee you every single one of them will say the 20-80-20 rule. And you might be like, oh, I don't know what the 20-80-20 rule is. So, I told you a million times, there's a lot of things that are available to you for free. Everything education is always going to be free. So the first thing you do is you get in the Discord. The second thing you do is you go to your PlayerProps.ai profile page, which is clicking this button here. And then there's going to be a big blue button right here. Now mine says disconnect Discord because I've already connected it. Yours will say connect Discord. You click that button and that is going to open up all the channels. Once you do that, the channel you're looking for is called bankroll management. If you master that rule, that guideline, that's called the 20-80-20 rule, it will change your life like it changed everybody else's life in Discord who's been following it. This is a no-brainer, easy copy-paste situation. We take the very complex things that are numbers, odds, math, all that stuff, and we made it so simple where it's like, oh, just follow the guidelines and you're going to lose less and win more. And that's your overall goal, losing less. You just have to listen. But there's still people out there, it's like, I don't know if it's going to work out for me. It can't work out for everybody else and not you. You understand how impossible that is? If every single person who follows all the guidelines has to work out for them, why in the world would you think you are the one person on the planet who, when they commit to following all the guidelines, it won't work out for them? You understand how silly that is? You're probably thinking that right now, because that's why you're not in the Discord and you don't have the full access to everything, because you're like, oh, maybe I don't know if this is for me or not. If more money and not having less money is for you, this is also for you. You just have to listen. You have to follow the guidelines. If there is anything that you are unsure of, guess what? You have the most welcoming and helpful Discord on the planet. There are 18,000 people, more than 18,000 people now in the Discord. No such thing as a dumb question. Any question you ask in there, people are going to be more than happy to answer it, because that's the kind of community that I built. And that's why we have the best betting community in the world. Maybe not the largest. I'm sure there's some Discords out there that have hundreds of thousands of people in them, but they're all toxic. People just make fun of you for asking any kind of question. That's not what ours is. Ours is helpful. But if you don't ask questions, you can't get answers. And I know you have questions, because the only way you're not locking in, the only way you're not part of this community, is there's still something that's not clicking for you after you watch all the videos. Maybe it's the fact that you haven't watched all the videos. Just ask questions and get answers. The only way that you cannot be successful is if you give up. As long as you're constantly trying and constantly asking questions, you're going to be successful. You just can't give up. So, start trying, start asking questions, and we'll see you guys in the Discord. Good luck.